All right. I lived in kind of the Allen Ridge area, kind of across from Duncan Chapel Church of the Brethren. And the first meal we went to was called the Greasy Creek meal. The second one, of course, was known as the Vaughn meal. And that was one time after the Greasy Creek meal had closed down, I got word that the Vaughn's meal was closed down for about 3 or 4 days, putting in a new engine or something or other, and I had to go all the way to the Webb's meal over in Route 8, which was quite a different distance. But back up to the story, I'd be heading to the mill in wintertime in particular, and I took a shortcut across, I believe, 749. It's known as Rocky Hill Road now. It cut off for several miles, and I see ice up ahead, and I knew the horse couldn't stand up on that ice, so I would stop, and I'd always have a bag of ice head nails. It was nails that was about 3/8 of an inch longer than the regular horseshoe nails. I'd take out two nails of each side of the shoe and the front feet, and I would replace them with two more nails in each foot. And a boy 11 years old, had to have some skill to do that. So you drive the nail in, and the nail would stick out about an inch, and you twist it off with the claw hammer. Then you had to take a rasp and put it underneath the nail and hit it with a hammer and to clench that nail, hold the shoe on. Then you go on to the mill, of course, and the only road was hardtop that day and time was 787, known as the Indian Valley Road. And by the time you got to the mill, of course, those nails would be wore off flat again, and you'd have to replace them on the way back. But while I was at the mill, they'd be about 12 or 15 pickup trucks ahead of me, maybe a car or two with the trunks full of stuff, and I'd have to park way out there somewhere. And Mr. Aubrey Harris ran the mill at that time. His brother owned the mill. I think his name was Hollis.
Right.
And he would say, a young man says, back that team of horses in. I could hear real good. And those men there, they would hear him say, that boy's real good. Watch him. Watch him back that team of horses in. He's real good. My head was swell. I mean, I felt big. I felt big, That made me feel so good. Him brag about me. I said, back up. One named Strawberry and one lady. Lady was lead horse. Strawberry was off horse. You know anything about horses? That's the way they worked. Lead horse, off horse. Of course, G and Ha. Anyway, I'd back that wagon. I'd say, whoa back, back up. I'd back all the way. And I'd make sure that thing's plumb square against the dock. And of course, Mr. Harris say, see there? Those guys couldn't even back a pickup straight. I mean, the pickup be cockeyed. Other stuff. But I wanted to prove that Mr. Harris was right. That little boy was good. But we'd grind the feed, and I'd help him tie the sacks up and head on back home. And of course, summertime was no problem, but wintertime you'd have to adjust. And I remember one time in particular, I started back up the Rock Hill Road, and I thought maybe the nails was okay because 787 was basically covered with packed snow with cars run over. But while I was at the mill, the sun got up and it melted a little bit, and it stayed there, scraped the road down pretty short. But in my mind, I thought the nails probably still there a little bit. I started up this big old hill, and the horse fell down.
Oh.
The horse fell down. It was one horse wagon, and she fell in the shafts. And I remember this man and woman came along with a car, and they stopped down there because they had the road blocked. And they couldn't go any further. And they walked by and said, we would help you, but he just got out of the hospital, back surgery. And I said, it's okay. I'll be okay. I'd unloaded several sacks of feed and scotched my wagon because the wagon was sliding too, And a little bit later, a fellow by the name of Oscar Saunders came along, a black man. He said, I'll help you get up. And so I was able to unsnap one of the straps on the horse. They had a strap on this side and this side too, went back to the shafts. What that was for, to hold the wagon back, in addition to the brakes in the wagon. But I couldn't get to the other side because she's laying on the other one. I carried a real sharp bowl knife with me all the time, and I was able to cut that strap. I knew Dad would get me for cutting this strap, but I had to do it. No other choice. I cut the strap and we pulled the wagon out under the horse. And then Oscar and myself got a hold of the rope and drug the horse off the ice. Like I say, the ice was real slick, and horses went down about maybe 15 foot and able to get up. So we pulled the wagon back to the horse nose and loaded the feed back up and headed on back in. And they will forget that occasion. And that was quite an ordeal.